Are you ready for another DIY mystery box challenge? Well, today is the day. If you are new to this entire mystery box challenge is organized by Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap, and that is actually who sent me my box this time. If you don't know it, what this is that there's a whole group of us and we fill up a box of goodies and we ship it off to another creator so that they can DIY with those goodies. I actually sent my box over to Kristen K. You guys, I sent her some really good stuff, so you're gonna wanna make sure that you check out the description box for the playlist because these are some of my most favorite videos to make and to watch. There's also 2 challenge items that we have to use, and Courtney has decided this year to put a twist every time, and the twist this time is that we have to include a non-perishable item of food. Let's get into this box. Here's the inside of the box. The challenge items will be wrapped, and I always like to save those for the end, so I'm gonna very carefully pull out. I see something right on top. It looks like a, oh, it's like a recipe card box thing.
Look at that, but it has, does that mean it's supposed to, and nothing can go, hang and go? I'm pretty sure that's for recipes, and then would you, oh.
It's wood. Let's just say that. And it looks like she would have got it at a thrift store because of the sticker that's on it. But, oh, that's cute. I actually have an idea for this. So, super cute. I love it. Give me wood stuff all day long. I just got a sneak peek. Okay, we're gonna put paper on the ground. She has wrapped. That's little. Little things scare me. So, 2 challenge items over here. It looks like I have bubble wrap and a card. Does that mean I should open that? How much you want to bet this is a card that's saying, please still be my friend? Which I will be your friend, Courtney. No matter what. Doesn't mean I'm going to like the box. Well, I like the box. I just might not like the challenge items because that's not even true. I like a good challenge. Who am I lying to? Look at that. I like to see pictures of high heels, but let's be honest. I don't like wearing high heels anymore. Jennifer, words cannot express how much I cherish you and our friendship. You are a true light and a joy to know. I know you will nail this box. I have complete faith in you. Don't be scared. She knows me. I'm scared. Much love, Courtney. P.S. I think I was very nice when picking your challenge items. You may think otherwise. Let's find out. I'm waiting on bubble wrap. We're gonna wait on that one too. Okay, she sent me this little thing of pom-poms, but what I think is cool is that they're different texture, even though they're all orange fabric. Look at that one with all the pumpkins on it. Oh, anyone else ready for fall and to wear these colors? Faster than a speeding bullet. HTV vinyl, confetti, graduations. Give me iron-on stuff any day. A little milk jug. Look how tiny that is. That's so cute. Anything tiny. All things tiny are cute. Oh, that's cute. She sent paint, but she had it in a bag to make sure things were good. And look, the paint matches the fabric. Who else is feeling all the fall vibes? She just knows I am ready for fall. I am so ready. Look at these. They're just really pretty. I like those knobs. Those knobs are beautiful. What are these? Macrame tubes. Oh, so when you do that, like you do the knots and you put them. Oh. But you don't have to use them that way either. You can do other things with them. They're just little copper tubes. I have an idea already for that too. She sent me a couple packages of the wood shims. She did an entire video sharing how to like use wood shims. Fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you need to check that out. Letterboard, Hello Beautiful. Well, I don't know why I said Hello Beautiful, because it was on the board. That's why I said it, because apparently I repeat what I read. You got a peach. Could I read, please? You've got a peach of my heart. No, I was reading that correctly. I was just having the tune of Toy Story, you know, like you've got a friend in me. So I was gonna read you got a peach in me, but that's not what it says, so. Okay, this is the twist item. Oh, okay. She only sent 2. Oh, sorry, Kristen, I sent you 3. I probably read the directions wrong. I sent you 2 challenge items and a non-perishable food. Y'all need to really go give that girl some support. I'm feeling a little guilty now. I've been told I'm too easy sometimes. Apparently, I am not this time. I'm opening this first then. This is one of those, she just sent a nice thing. Oh man, look how oh. Okay, why do I keep putting my mouth on stuff? If this is my challenge item number 1, apparently I'm gonna open this one first because she said number 1. It feels like a box.
She said don't be scared. You have seen the things Courtney sent people, right?
Oh! She sent me the cups for coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I can use like the pods or I can use the box. Like it doesn't matter what I use. I can use any of it, but that's really funny. And considering Courtney's second channel is Courtney Loves Coffee, coffee would be rather fitting for her to send to me. Yes, it would be. Okay, challenge item number 2. Deep breath before I open it. What? Touchless key. Oh, I keep seeing these. They have them at the checkout. Oh, yep, But it is like a hook. So it could have been worse. It could have been a snorkel again. Whitney, yes, I'm looking at you. I got a snorkel. So you're right, Courtney. Not bad. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, get to it, and we'll see you on the other side. This is definitely one of my favorite challenges, and this has been one of my favorite boxes. And I think it's because I created things that I will be able to use for a really long time. And I didn't even use everything in the box, but what I used, I really thought about what I wanted to do with it, and you'll see as we go along. So I can never resist a challenge, and I'm not gonna lie, I think Courtney might have been a little bit easy on me with this touchless key, but as soon as I saw it and I flipped it upside down, it looked like a hook. And not too long ago, Courtney made these tall wooden lanterns, and I saw them when I was at her house, and I immediately fell in love. I thought they were just really beautiful, and I wanted some for myself as well. So I went ahead and put my own twist on them and made my own lanterns as well. So that meant I had a trip to Home Depot. Let's just face it, wood right now can be a little bit expensive, but the cost of making these lanterns is so much more affordable than buying a lantern this size. The large lantern that I'm making actually costs about $15, and the smaller lantern that I'm making is around $14. But it all really depends on the cost of the wood at the time that you're doing this. What I really liked about Home Depot is they cut almost all of my wood for me, which made it super easy. So all I had to do when I got home was to start like putting it together. So big shout out and a thank you to Home Depot for that. So if you don't have a saw, utilize that if you are looking at doing projects like this. So for the larger lantern, I have 2 10x2s cut 9 1/4 inches, because if you didn't know it, wood is never actually the width that it says it is. It's a little bit shorter. So it's 9 1/4 by 9 1/4 by 2. So I have 2 pieces of that. And then I have a smaller, this is from the 8 by 2, and it's actually 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. And then I have a topper to go on top. And then I have a total of 4 of the balusters. For the balusters, I did cut 9 inches off of each because I really did not need those to be 3 feet tall. That would make this lantern a little bit too tall and skinny, even for my taste. To put this together, all I did was put in some pilot holes and screwed it in so it had great reinforcement. I screwed it in the baluster legs on the bottom. I screwed it in from the top. And then I added another pilot hole right in the center after marking off the center for my topper. And then I screwed that right on. And then I used some wood glue in order to add that smaller 8 by 2 piece on. Super easy. After that, I took some black spray paint to spray this. If you don't know, this is my spray tint. I got it on Amazon. You guys, best $25 I have ever spent. That, along with this Lazy Susan, makes spray painting anything so easy. For the smaller lantern, I'm using the 8 by 2. Remember, it's a 7 1/4. So it's a 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, and I have 2 pieces of that. And I cut those baluster legs in half this time. So I only needed 2 of them. And again, same thing, I screwed them in so that they would be nice and strong, but I didn't need a 3rd piece to go on top. This time, I'm just using one of those like stair caps. I love how this looks on it. I just added some glue around the sides, placed that right on top, clamped that down so it could dry. Once it was dry, again, I went back in with that black spray paint so that these look like they go together, but they're not like super matchy-matchy. And I love how they both look. They're so beautiful. I have this little white hook that I'm gonna add to the undercarriage of the tallest lantern. So all I have to do is do a little pilot hole and then screw that in. Once that's in, I did paint that black so it would completely disappear. After that, all I have to do is take that touchless key and then slip it right on. I placed both of these in front of my fireplace. I think they are so beautiful, but of course, these would look great in so many different places, on a porch, on a patio. Now, I'm gonna leave Courtney's link in the description box so you can go check out her video as well, because she is the original creator of these lanterns. Not gonna lie, Courtney threw me for a little loop with the coffee because, like I said, I'm not a coffee drinker, wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it, didn't have a coffee maker. I have seen Megan from Glue Guns and Roses stain wood with coffee before, so I thought this might be the time for me to go ahead and grab a coffee maker. Okay, I'm at Costco. This is the only K-Cup coffee maker that they have. I'm gonna grab it. I better be getting some good hot chocolate after this. That's all I'm saying. Once I got my coffee maker all set up, I went ahead and I brewed 2 different K-Cups, and that seemed to be enough for me to do this project. So I grabbed one of the Dollar Tree wooden snakes. This is the only way I want a snake in my house, if it is wooden and not real. So I took my miter shears and I snipped off the head and I snipped off the tail, and then I cut the snake in half. I was gonna go ahead and leave them in the container that I brewed the coffee, but they weren't fitting, so I did have to switch containers. I just left them in the coffee for about 15 minutes. After that, I took them out and then I just let them dry. I actually put them out in the sun so they would dry faster. It actually didn't take very long, and I am pretty happy with the results. While my coffee stain handles were drying, I grabbed this pizza pan from Dollar Tree, and I have this rope that I picked up on Amazon. And I am just going to glue the rope onto the pizza pan. To help this stick, I'm first applying some duct tape because, let's face it, hot glue and metal don't mix very well. So I just place it on there. It doesn't have to be pretty and it doesn't have to be all over. You just want to cover it well enough. From there, I take my rope and I coil it into itself to kind of tuck that raw end so you won't see it. Find the center, and then I just start hot gluing and just twisting it around itself as I go, keeping the rope fairly tight, and then I just keep going until it is completely covered. I do actually take it underneath the pizza pan a little bit just to make sure that it has a nice finished look, and I think this looks so good. Once I have those handles back inside, I do use some hot glue to attach those right onto this tray as well, and I think this looks great. Now, I will tell you, I can grab the handles and hold it, but I would not grab the handles and hold it if there was stuff on it. I'm using the handles for decoration. I don't plan to carry around a ton with them, but I think they were the perfect added touch. I loved this little teeny tiny jug that Courtney gave me, and as soon as I saw it, for some reason, I really wanted to put it on a wreath, or maybe I'm just in the mood to make a fall wreath. Either which way, it was going on a wreath. So I grabbed this wreath form from Dollar Tree, and so I grabbed some florals. I have some from Joann's that are from like their spring clearance. They're about 70 cents each. I actually have a couple from Dollar Tree as well. And I just really wanted some softer tones. I find that when I use softer tones, it helps keep me a little bit calmer, and I'm just arranging them on the wreath the way that I want them. And then I go ahead and I stick a few of them inside of the jug as well, and then use some hot glue in order to secure that down. Then I take a few of these pumpkins off of this Dollar Tree sprig, cut those off and place those on to really make this a fall wreath. And I think this looks super adorable. It was so easy to do. I just think it is darling. Did you know that Dollar Tree is also carrying these wreath form holders? Check at your Dollar Tree the next time you're in, because these are a steal for just $1. This might surprise you, but the thing that threw me for the biggest loop was the recipe box. And that's because I don't write my recipes on 3x5 cards. It looked a little bit like I could do a Santa box, but I just recently did a Santa box, so I didn't want to do that. However, I'm going to be redoing my laundry room really soon, and I just picked this up at Walmart, and I think it is adorable. For anyone thinking that you use liquid soap, so do I. Don't worry, I'm actually putting my OxiClean in this. But this is my inspiration for my entire laundry room. I just liked the colors of it. It also comes in gray if you're wondering. And this is what helped inspire me to do what I wanted to do with that recipe box. So to start off with, I took that recipe box out to my spray tent. After it dried, I did take a 320 grit sandpaper and gave it a light sanding and a little distressing. And then I added some decals. On the top of it, I just added open daily. And then on the front of it, it says self-service, laundry, wash, dry, and fold. I also have this half wooden bead I think would be perfect to go over this hole at the top so that I don't have to hang this if I don't want to. But first I'm gonna go ahead and paint this with elephant so that it matches everything. Once that's dried, I go ahead and use some wood glue in order to attach it. Now the hole from the back is still there, so either I can hang it or I can sit this on a shelf. It doesn't matter. This is great for like clothespins, loose change, dryer sheets. So many different options for all those little small things you may have in your laundry room. I just think it's adorable, and I think that they look so great paired together. When I saw the bag of pom-poms, I really wanted to make like a little mini garland. I tend to have a little obsession with garlands. I went ahead and picked out a couple of the different pom-poms and some wooden beads, and I just alternated a pattern, and I used a darning needle in order to help me get through mainly the pom-poms, because let's face it, thread's not gonna go through a pom-pom without a needle. 3 beads, a bright pom-pom, 1 bead, a soft pom-pom, 3 beads, bright pom-pom, 1 bead, soft pom-pom. And I just continued this pattern all the way through, just adding the beads and the pom-pom. Once I had it all done, I cut the string, and now it's time for me to add the tassels on the end. So to create my tassels, I just used my fingers and I wrapped it around 30 times, and then I slide it off. And then I take the end and I just loop it through. I went back in and I put it on the darning needle, and I just took the darning needle back through until I got through one of the pom-poms, and that's where I did a knot, so that it would be nice and secure. After I had that tassel on there, I took another piece of the string and I wrapped it around the tassel a few times, knotted that off. Then I had to trim that tassel so that it would, look like a tassel. I repeated the same thing on the other side, and then this little beaded garland was all done. I absolutely love it. I think it's great for like summer, spring, fall, so many different options. Courtney sent me a few different pieces of fabric, and as soon as I saw the pumpkin fabric, for some reason, I wanted to make a table runner. It could be that I have a slight obsession for table runners, or maybe I just have an obsession for table decor. I actually planned to get out my sewing machine so I could sew it, but I realized I left a lot of my sewing stuff at my husband's aunt's house, and that wasn't going to work. So instead, I am so glad I have a glue gun. So I went in with my hot glue gun and my hot glue fabric, and now I have been asked this before, but yes, it is washable. Not dryable, you can just hang it to dry, which I hang so much things to dry anyway, so that's not a big deal, but it is washable. And you're gonna use it just like you would if you were sewing. So to start off with, so I trimmed the 2 pumpkin pieces so that they would be 17.5 inches in width and 13 inches in length. I trimmed the centerpiece so that it was 17.5 inches in width and 41.5 inches in length. I did the same thing for the pieces that were going on the back where I used the buffalo check. I went ahead and I cut it out where I would have 3 pieces to put together so that it would mimic the front of it. After that, I laid the pieces so that they would be the right sides together, and I used my hot glue gun and just went down the seam in order to create that faux sewing technique as I went down. And I did that to both sides, adding that pumpkin fabric to the polka dot fabric. Once that was done, I did use my mini easy press to press that fabric back and to seam it in. Now, it will melt the hot glue just a little bit, but it actually kind of seals it in at the same time. So I really like to do that. I did the same thing to the buffalo check fabric at the same time. Once I had both the front and the back ready, now it was time for me to add these 2 pieces together. So again, I added both pieces so that the right sides were together, and I started at one end and I combined it, and then I went down the length of one side and down the length of another side, leaving the end completely open. Once I had glued the end and the 2 sides, now it was time for me to flip it so that the right sides were out. After I had the table runner with the right sides out, I did go in with my mini heat press again, and I ironed around the middle of it to get out any wrinkles and around the edges just to kind of flatten and push them out. And again, seal in any of that hot glue. On the end that I have not hot glued, I did go ahead and I turned it in and pressed it with the mini press so that it would hold. And then I used my hot glue to secure that down and closed it off. I absolutely love this. I love that I made it double-sided. It is so versatile. There's so many different things that I can do with it. I just think it will be so much fun. I'm really excited to be able to use it. As soon as I saw the letterboard, I knew immediately that I was gonna flip it around and create a sign. So I had to go ahead and get the hanging part off of it. So I took that off. A little bit of it was poking up, so I sanded it down. That's gonna come in play in just a moment, so hold on to that. After that, I took some of Waverly's chalk paint in white, I painted the center, and then I used Waverly's chalk paint in hazelnut to paint the frame itself. Once that dried, I then used the fabric that Courtney gave me to create a pumpkin. So I took the orange and I cut it out kind of like in a pumpkin shape and tried to actually fray the edges a little bit. Then I took the yellow and made like a little stem, and the green and cut out some leaves. I also took a little bit of batting in order to have the pumpkin pop up a little bit. So I hot glued the batting down first, and then I took the hot glue around the edges of the pumpkin, adding in that stem as well. And then finishing off with the leaves. As I did that, I scratched the frame a little bit and noticed that the paint was coming off. So I went in with my sandpaper and started like sanding it, thinking, okay, what do I need to do here? Well, as I was sanding, I noticed that the paint was coming off rather easily, except for the area that I had previously sanded. That wasn't coming off. I also noticed that the paint was staying in the cracks of it. I originally thought I was going to repaint it, but when I got done, I kind of liked the way it looked staying in some spots and leaving other spots. It gave it more of a rustic feel, and I felt like it really matched the fabric. You guys, this was a Bob Ross moment. It was a complete happy accident, and I love the way that it turned out. Don't forget to check the description box for the entire playlist and all the inspiration you're gonna be getting. And here's another video I know you're gonna love. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.